This knife definitely looks cooler than it actually is. What's going on, guys? Carter here with Edged Mindset. We're taking a look at a Shooziz knife. This is the XUN122. XUN122 is the model name, and it is in 14C28N steel. I am not familiar with that steel. I did a quick Google search on it. Looks like it's an okay budget steel. Nothing special about it. Definitely not punching above its weight class in terms of the steel, but it seems fine for the price point, which, by the way, is around $60 USD for this knife. Let's talk some specs. It's big. It is way big. Here it is compared to a Paramilitary 2. Not only is it considerably longer, but it is also wider and heavier. And we'll talk about that here in a minute. So the blade is 4 1/8 inch length. Overall length is 9.5 inches. It is a beefy big boy. But let's take a look at the blade stock thickness, which actually isn't that crazy. 0.129 roughly. But the handle thickness is quite beefy. 0.72, so almost 3/4 of an inch. Quite a thick handle, and of course, like I mentioned before, the killer of this knife, the thing that kind of takes it off of my recommendation list, we'll say, is the weight. 12 ounces. It is beyond ridiculous, which is unfortunate because it is a really cool knife and a really cool design, but that weight completely destroys it. I cannot recommend, so cutting to the chase, I cannot recommend this knife because of that weight. But I guess if it's something you don't care about, or if you like really heavy knives, maybe, because I like heavy knives, but only when it makes sense, right? Only when it's something like this, full titanium, big, thick blade stock, and this isn't even as heavy as this guy. But a knife like this, and it's really unbalanced because the blade is very, very light because of this super high flat grind, and the blade stock isn't all that crazy thick, but the handles are insane. So, all right, I'm getting ahead of myself. Let's talk some more about this. So, full flat grind, super slicey. It is. You can hear it resonate. It is really, really thin all the way up to the tip. This is a slicer dream. And maybe this would make sense like in a toolbox or utility box where you're not carrying it around, so you don't care about the weight, and you just pull it out to do some heavy duty slicing, maybe cutting cardboard, cutting paper, things like that it might make sense for. But in terms of being like an EDC or something you carry around, I just don't see it. Primary mode of deployment is the front flipper. You can kind of get into this nail neck and open it with your thumb. It's a little awkward, but seems to work out okay. Has steel bolsters. Look how thick that steel is. And that's the shameful part, because if this would have been G10 just like this, maybe a different color, same milling, it would have cut the weight down a lot. Full G10 backspacer, probably could have cut that out as well. Maybe just did standoffs, that would reduce some weight. Thick steel liners. It is skeletonized, but barely. It's got like little holes that kind of run down each side. So if they would have replaced these bolsters with G10 or micarta or something light and then increased that skeletonization, I think this thing would have been a winner because it looks really cool, and it is a slicer supreme. It is ultra smooth. Lockup is perfect. Centering is perfect. Deep carry pocket clip. Looks good. I like the way that looks, and I love the texturing on the scales here. Construction on this thing for a $60 knife is top notch. The fit and finish is top notch. It is super fun to flip and play with. It's just that weight is beyond ridiculous. It's beyond ridiculous. And it's a weird misstep because if you have to deal with steel, right, because in this price point you're not going to get titanium, don't do steel bolsters. Figure something else out. It looks good in pictures, which is why I bought it, but that steel just kills it. It is completely ambidextrous though. Flip that pocket clip around and the deployment method is the same whether you're left or right. Get a size in my hand here. Man, it's probably more disappointing Not that it's that bad, just that it could have been so great. If the weight thing was taken care of, I would be recommending this thing all day because it's so cool. It looks so cool, so smooth. This blade is amazing. If you're into slicers, this is your ticket. But that weight just destroys it. Even little details like see how the liner sticks out, it's textured. It has a lot of things that are done really well. That weight though, just can't get past it. So let me know, what do you think? Could you handle this much weight for a knife like this? I don't think I can. Maybe I'll try to carry it a few times. It is at least affordable, but yeah, just too heavy. All right, guys, I'll catch you on the next one.